वेलकम ख़वातीन व हज़रात। आज मैं एक ख़ुसूसी मेहमान है, वन ऑफ माई बेस्ट मेंटर, वन ऑफ माई बेस्ट टीचर. Her name is Dr. Sarwat Jahan. She is associate professor here in North School of Medicine, Peshawar, and she is being wonderful to each and every student. Welcome, ma'am, to our podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, let me start with your question directly. How did you first become interested in medicine as a career?
That's actually a question I've been thinking of and I cannot find an answer to. I think that was just something I was born with. I was born to do it. I don't remember wanting to do anything else but becoming a doctor all my life.
Okay.
So I hope that answers it.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you share your journey from being medical student to an associate professor? I know it's a bit long question, but
No, if you ask me, there are two perspectives to it. If you ask me as an associate professor right now, it's blink of an eye. Like I was telling you before, I just woke up one day and I'm an associate. But as a kid who went from a very conservative feudal village, being the first girl who entered from this village, went to a university, it's been challenging, but it's been a lot of fun. I got to learn a lot. I met the best of mentors. I made some really good friends. I picked up life while I was going through the process. It was really challenging at times. When I look back at all of it, it sounds like, how did you do it? But it just happened.
it just happened.
I guess, if you're supposed to do something, it just happens for you.
Oh.
You have to be persistent.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what advice would you give to someone who is considering career in medicine?
Well, it's a wonderful profession. I love it so far. Everything about it is wonderful. It's just that keep one thing in your mind, you have to be at the tip of your toes. It's very challenging, it's very hard. We were in FSC and my chemistry teacher used to say it's survival of the fittest. So you have to be the fittest over here to survive. So if you think you have it in you to work really hard, to be on your toes all the time, then of course you should come and choose it.
Okay. Ma'am, can you tell about your medical school experience? What was your medical school experience? It was best or not?
I'm from Fauji Foundation.
Oh, okay.
It's a very strict institute, but I would always be very thankful to them. They not only gave us the best of the knowledge they shaped our personalities. They made us all very disciplined. Our reflexes got very strong. And I think I'm one of the luckiest medical students that we got to learn all the cases, not only in the books but right on hand practice.
Okay.
All the cases would show up to the hospital because it's a big hospital. So we would go, we heard all kinds of murmurs in first, second year. So it was an amazing journey.
Okay. Ma'am, how do you balance your personal and professional life as a doctor?
I've never separated them two. For me, personal and professional life are not two different things. It's just a part of your personality. You do something from 8 to 3:30. In my case, you do another thing from 3:30 till night. This is a part of your personality. So I think we complicate things by making them two separate entities. They're not, they're just a part of your personality. It's just the type of work you're doing changes. Otherwise, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am. Ma'am, how do you stay motivated and driven in your career as a doctor?
That's a technical question to answer. Well, it would be very ironic to say, but I have an autoimmune disease. That keeps me motivated. When I wake up in the morning, I have these limited packets of energy. So I really have to think, how am I going to utilize them? I'll use at least 9 of them to my benefit. Then I sleep at night and I'm excited about the other day. Let's see what's gonna happen the next day. Also, when I go home for the vacations, I look at all these streets and those walls and remember the turmoil I went through when I was there, and that also gives me hope. If you could do this, you can do anything.
You can do anything. That was such an amazing answer, ma'am.
Thank you.
I couldn't expect that. Ma'am, what do you consider to be the biggest public health issue right now?
Being unaware of the biggest public health issues, actually. Most of us don't have any knowledge, which is why people whose organs don't function like ours, whose like limbs don't function like ours, we're giving them a very tough time because we don't understand their situation, we're not including them. So we're kind of making life hard for them because we're unaware.
What advice you give to aspiring medical professional?
Prioritize.
Prioritize
Make a
what?
list of your priorities. What is more important to you, what comes second, what comes third, and religiously follow that list. What we do is we jumble everything up. Something comes up, you leave one thing and you like waste all your energy on that, but prioritize. Make a list and follow that list.
Ma'am, like how we prioritize certain things that it is the top of the list and
for example, right now you're a student.
Yes, ma'am.
Your first priority is your study.
Exactly.
So most of your energy should go to that. Then comes your hobbies, then comes the game, then comes everything else. But right now, studying should be your priority.
Exactly.
So you shouldn't like limit the time given to the studies because of the other activities.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what are some common misconceptions about your field of medicine that you would like to address?
That it's only related to clinics and the hospitals.
Okay.
It's not. I'm not related to the clinics and the hospitals. It's a huge field. It has basics, it has research, it has a lot of things that are still unexplored. So someone needs to do that too.
Okay. Ma'am, what are some key qualities you believe are essential for a successful medical professional?
I start all my lectures with that. Professionalism, ethics, credibility. If you can understand all of the three of them, make a part of your personality, nobody can stop you from succeeding.
Okay. Ma'am, what do you enjoy most about teaching medical students?
The quick response. You see those very curious eyes, very curious mind, and then you see them get satisfied. It makes you the happiest person in the world.
Okay.
You're like, oh, I want to teach you more if you want to.
If you want, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what inspired you to pursue a career in academia within the field of medicine, like clinic ki side maybe just at PP, or academia ki side maybe, like why you choose academic side?
I think it was the inspiration I picked on during my journey. There were teachers of mine who really inspired me. I was good at giving presentations. I would teach everyone in a group and we would sit and study together as students.
Okay.
Then I did my house job and I'm like, no, that's not me. When I started demoship, that would give me so much happiness. I would feel accomplished at the end of the day. So that made me realize, I'm like, this is the field that I'm going to.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, it's mean like you explore the clinical side as well as the academic side. Then you choose the academic side.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what are some current research projects you are involved in?
Many. But the one I'm most excited about is we're starting the cost minimization analysis for the first time in Northwest General Hospital. So right now we're just framing up, we're listing down the diseases because treatment is getting very expensive and it's a lot of loss of compliance and stuff going on. So we thought about something that would benefit the masses. So I'm hoping inshallah we're successful in that, so we'll continue with it. We'll do more pharmacoeconomic surveys.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you share a memorable moment from your journey as a medical educator?
As a memorable moment. You know, just last week, this student comes up to me after my lecture and she goes like, ma'am, I'm like, Hanji. And she's like, I want to say something. So I'm like, do you want to come to my office? I thought it was a secret. She was all nervous. So she's like, no, it's fine. I can say it here. I'm like, what is it? And she's like, I just came here to thank you from a student because you delivered such a good lecture. I learned a lot. So I thought I owe it to you to come to you and thank you.
Oh, that's
and I was so happy for the whole week. I'm like, this is what I want.
Exactly. What advice do you have for medical students who might be struggling with their studies?
Hang in there. It's okay. We know it's hard. We've been there. So don't kill yourself over it. It's not, medical education is not an easy thing. It's very hard and everybody knows that. So give yourself some credit for choosing something that is this hard.
Ma'am, what's your favorite part about being a mentor to aspiring medical professional?
The one thing, they trust you enough that they share their issues with you and they're confident enough in you that they actually start following your advice. So as a human, it is a very nice feeling. If someone is trusting me enough with their own feelings, that's an amazing thing to have.
Ma'am, what's your favorite part about being a mentor to aspiring medical professional?
I just answered that. You want me to go on?
No, ma'am. I will skip to the next question. Can you share an inspirational story involving one of your former student?
Okay, so there's a student. If I name him, the other people are gonna be like, "Why did you name him?" The thing with this kid is, I'm like, he knows about research. We've done a lot of work together. If I'm like, sit down, I'm gonna teach you mean, median, and mode, he's gonna sit down and he's gonna look at me. What if he adds something new? I told him this thing is gonna make you learn a lot in life because you always are ready to receive anything at your end.
Oh.
So we worked together. We've like done a lot of research projects. We're still working together, and he drives me. I'm like, just keep bugging me. I'm like, ma'am, you have to work. You have to work. You have to do this, and he does it. So I'm actually, he's one of the students that I really inspired by.
Okay. Ma'am, can you share any tips for students to maintain a healthy work-life balance during medical school?
If I had any. But I guess two things that I've added to my life that have done miracles. Diet में I have added vegetables. Like मेरी पूरी एनर्जी लेवल सब चेंज हो गया है. दूसरी चीज़ स्ट्रेस नहीं लेनी. ठीक है, आई नो बहुत मुश्किलें हो जाती है, बट देयर आर थिंग्स वी कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग अबाउट. उनकी स्ट्रेस नहीं लेनी. काम डाउन, रिलैक्स, एंजॉय योर मोमेंट. बाकी मेरा कोई खुद ऐसा हेल्थ लाइफ बैलेंस है नहीं.
ठीक है. Looking back, what advice would you give your younger self?
Hang in there, kid. It's gonna be okay. You'd make it through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what are the unique aspects of teaching medical students at the Northwest School of Medicine?
This is one of the unique aspects. Northwest has this good quality where the doors are always open for the student. They have access to the HOD, to the principal even.
Exactly, I totally agree with that.
Right?
I totally.
So it breaks that barrier where if they have a study related issue, any other issue, they can just come to you,
Exactly.
talk about it, and these things get sorted out. So I haven't, like, I've worked in 3-4 other places, but I haven't seen this anywhere else.
So this is you think like this is the big difference between?
Yes, and it makes a lot of difference.
Exactly. Ma'am, what are some of the most rewarding aspects of being an educator?
One that, as I've mentioned before, there's a quick response. Like you give and then you take. At the moment you get to know, okay, इनको समझ आ रही है.
Exactly.
Other than that, when your students graduate and they're succeeding at all these examinations, and they're coming and telling you, I'm like, amazing. It's unbelievable. And when I wasn't a teacher, I was told these things make you happy. I'm like, how? Why would I care what you do? It's like it was your project you were working on, and look at it blooming.
Exactly. Can you discuss the challenges and opportunities for women pursuing career in medicine?
This is a male-dominated society. So wherever you go, you'll be judged. You'll be judged on your gender. If you're at a successful position, nobody is gonna see, okay, this woman is so intelligent, she worked really hard. They'll be like, oh, this is because she's a woman, as if it's a thing. So judgment is a very big challenge.
Okay. Like in your mind, do you think like judgment is a big challenge?
Yes, at least it has been for me.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what advice would you give to young women who are interested in medical field?
Follow your passion. Only choose something that you're passionate about, because you have to continue it for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
It's not a come and go thing. You come, you do a job for a few days and then you go back. So choose a career that you can continue for the rest of your life. Also make connections with other women. Make their life easier, because we understand each other's issues. So I think that is very important, and we have to be our own advocates. That is very important. You have to be at the top of your game, because when this judgment thing comes in, you have this knowledge and ability to prove everybody wrong.
Exactly.
So I think this is mandatory. You have to be your advocate, and you have to be passionate about what you're doing.
Okay. Ma'am, you mentioned that you should choose the path that you should like. But in majority cases here, specifically in Pakistan, then especially in KP, most of the students, like most of the girls who are coming to medicine, majority of them are not like this field. They come either due to parents pressure, either due to mother, either due to father, either due to brother or any like that. What do you like give message to those people?
मैं ये कहती हूँ कि जब एक प्रोफेशन के साथ जिंदगी हमने गुजारनी है, हमने काम करना है, तो we should be the ones choosing it. I know there is a lot of pressure. There was a pressure from my family to not study, not go to college, not do a job. But you have to be persistent about it, because in the end of the day, everything sorts out. There was a time when my family went like, हमने educate नहीं करना लड़कियों को, अब सारे डॉक्टर बनाना चाह रहे हैं, ठीक है ना? So the thing is कि you have to be persistent about it, क्योंकि end पे सफ़र भी आप ही हो रहे होगे, calmness मिलेगी तो वो भी आपको ही मिलेगी.
Okay, ma'am, how can we create a more supportive environment for women to excel in all areas of medicine? वुमेन को हम लाइक किस तरह सपोर्ट करें? हाउ?
देखो, एक तो स्ट्रिक्ट हरासमेंट रूल्स होने चाहिए जो फॉलो हो, सो नोबडी कैन जस्ट ब्लर्ट आउट व्हाटएवर दे वांट टू से. इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी, तो एक्चुअली मेडिसिन इज वन ऑफ द फील्ड व्हिच डज प्रोवाइड इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड इट्स अ वेरी गुड field for women. But what more you can do is you can like strictly apply the harassment policies, because I know most of women go through that.
Okay, so like we should make policies and we should implement their policies as well in hospital and big setup.
Exactly.
Okay, ma'am, what are your biggest professional goals for the future?
Inshallah, I have this in mind that I'm gonna do something related to autoimmune diseases. If not something to treat them, at least something that can stop the progression. That is my passion. That is my aim. So I'm working on it. It's part of my PhD project too. So I am, inshallah, with Allah Ta'ala ki madad se, I wanna do something in that field.
That's excellent, ma'am. Do you have any hobby, ma'am? Like
going on trips, meditating, watching movies.
That's your favorite hobbies?
Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, can you share some practical health tips listeners can incorporate into their daily life?
Please exercise. I don't, but please exercise. Add vegetables and fruits to your diet and have a stress-free life.
Have a stress-free life and exercise, huh? Ma'am, what are your hopes for the future of medical education in Pakistan?
Up is the only way, because medical education is one of the very well taught fields in Pakistan. We're top notch, so inshallah I only see a bright future.
Excellent, ma'am. Ma'am, how do you see the role of doctors evolving with the integration of artificial intelligence in healthcare?
I think it's a good thing. I think the things we used to do in 3 hours takes 3 minutes, 5 minutes now.
Exactly.
See?
Exactly.
So it's not only increasing our productivity, but also giving us time to relax and calm down and have a life.
Exactly.
So I think it's a wonderful thing that's happened.
So ma'am, do you consider like we should incorporate artificial intelligence in our healthcare system?
We definitely should. We should, because if it's saving time, if it is increasing productivity, why not?
Exactly. Ma'am, what message would you like to give to the future doctors in Pakistan?
Doctory is not only related to clinics and hospitals.
Exactly.
Please explore other areas, because they require manpower, they require attention, and there's a lot to explore there.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what book has had a significant impact on your life?
Pir Kamil. It was
What?
crazy. Pir Kamil.
Pir Kamil.
I think the first time I read it, I was probably in first year or second year, FSC. I didn't understand it well then, but then I had to read it again and then again, and I lost it. It's something, it's out of this world.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Pir Kamil has a big impact on your life.
It did. It did.
I will.
You need to read that if you haven't.
I will read it.
Yes.
I will read it.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what is your favorite quote that inspire you?
It's actually, these are the 4 lines from a poet, Sarah Williams. That's mantra of my life. She goes, though my soul may set in darkness, it will rise in perfect light. I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night.
Stay happy,
Stay happy,
stay healthy, and donate smiles.